had this dream last night. Let me tell you about this dream, and then I will ask the question, because I feel like if I tell you why this question came about, you guys will understand. In this dream that I had last night, it was myself and some guy who I know for a fact I don't know. But we're at some sort of, I don't know, we're in like some sort of like, Sandlot, like not a junkyard, but it's like clearly it's not habitable, it's inhabitable, and there's a lot of dirt and twigs and things like that. Well, in this area, there is a plastic robot, and this plastic robot is see-through, is transparent, and it is filled with money. A lot of money. So myself and this guy, we ended up taking it. We ended up taking the robot. I don't know why we ended up taking the robot, but we ended up taking the robot, and I'm guessing he's the town bully or gangster or whoever he is, caught a whiff of our plan on what we were doing. And because we did most of the heavy lifting, he wants to take the robot. Well, we are not having it, so we run to our car and start to escape. And this dude, it's like some sort of 80s villain. Like, he's got the sunglasses and like a mustache, so like in Magnum PI, and he's in a leather jacket. And like, he and his gang of people go into this one car, which is like, I want to say lilac, possibly lavender color, because I know it was purple, but it was more on the light side. And they start to pursue us in his car. I think it may have been a lowrider or something. So they start to pursue us, and we give chase. We get out of there, and we elude them. And once we do, we take refuge in some sort of mall plaza. And in this mall plaza, there is a food court. And this food court has various stands, various food shops, in which they all have some anime or movie inspirations behind it. They have a theme to it. So there's one like burger stand that has a theme with an anime show, I can't remember. And then there's this ramen noodle shop that has this Harry Potter theme. And as I'm reading the menu, one of the items on the menu is spaghetti ramen. Is there such a thing as spaghetti ramen? Like, I've never heard of it. Like, noodles wise, I've heard of ramen noodles. I've heard of udon. I've heard of soba. I've heard of yakisoba noodles. I've heard of tatsute. It's ramen, but it's opposite. So you're dipping. So instead of like your typical ramen noodles, which is like in the bowl, and you have your toppings and your garnishes and things like that. This one, you take the noodles, which are in a separate bowl, and then you dip those noodles into the broth, and then you eat it from there. Now, I know spaghetti noodles, pasta noodles, they're a lot thicker. They have a different taste. Their texture is a lot different from the noodles of ramen, from udon, from soba, from like the noodles that you eat in the instant ramen lunches and things like that. They are very, very different. They look different. The thickness is different, and the texture. Because spaghetti is more on the flour side, because it's made with flour, which is from grains. And I know soba is made with wheat. Well, it's made with a grain, but I think it's more with the wheat grain. I can't remember. But I've never have heard of spaghetti noodles, or pasta noodles, I should say, being used as a replacement for ramen noodles. My question is, if there is such a thing, can that be done? And if there is such a thing, where can I find it, and what is it called?